Hello and welcome to Sam Dan's Couch. Today I'm going to review the AORUS RTX 2080 Ti gaming box from Gigabyte. The box features an external water-cooled Nvidia RTX 2080 Ti graphics card, which can be hooked up to any computer that has a Thunderbolt 3 port. To connect an external graphics card, also called an eGPU, is a very efficient way to give especially laptops a giant boost in performance for graphic-heavy applications like games. It can also boost performance of apps like Adobe After Effects and Photoshop, but I'm going to focus solely on games in this review. I'm going to show you how you can use the 2080 Ti on a MacBook Pro from the year 2016 running Windows 10 with BootCamp. Nvidia cards don't work with the last few releases of macOS 10, so I'm going to focus on how to set it up using Windows 10. Along the actual box, you'll get a carrying case, carrying straps, and a very short Thunderbolt 3 cable. I won't be using this cable since it's way too short, and I will instead use my Thunderbolt 3 cable I already own from my LG 5K monitor. You'll also get a standard 3-prong power cord and a CD with the required drivers on it, which we won't be using either, and instead get the latest drivers from the official Gigabyte and Nvidia websites. I'll leave the links in the description of this video. On the back of the unit, we have two USB 3 ports, one USB-C port and the Thunderbolt 3 main input port where you directly connect your computer. There is also an Ethernet port, 3 display ports and one HDMI port where I'm going to connect my 4K OLED TV to. On the front, we have another USB 3 port. Now to make this work using BootCamp, we need to do a few tricks. Every Windows version and every version of the MacBook requires little different tweaks. I'm going to show you how to make it work on the MacBook Pro from the year 2016. A big help was the website eGPU.io, which reviews and collects all the information about eGPUs and how to make them work on different systems and computers. The MacBook Pro 2016 has resources conflicts when using Windows 10 in its latest version. There are different hacks to make this work, but I'm going to show you one which doesn't require any modifications to your system or Mac. Connect your eGPU to your Thunderbolt 3 cord and connect your TV or monitor to the HDMI port. Do not connect it to your Mac just yet. The first step is to go to the device manager and deactivate the internal graphic card driver, which would be in my case the Radeon 460 Pro. To free up hardware resources, deactivate the resources with the ending 1901 and 1905 as shown. Notice that this will turn off your two Thunderbolt ports on the left side of your Mac. A necessary step to free up resources. It also only affects the Windows side of the Mac. macOS 10 will be completely unchanged from all of this. Now reboot your Mac and hold down the Option key. Select your BootCamp partition and as soon as Windows starts to boot, plug in the Thunderbolt 3 cord that is hooked up to the 2080 Ti gaming box. It is important that you do this during the boot up sequence. If the eGPU is successfully recognized by the system, the LEDs on the front of the box will turn on. Check the device manager again and if deactivated by default, activate the display adapter Nvidia GeForce RTX 2080 Ti. Now download the latest Nvidia display drivers and the Gigabyte tools from each manufacturer website and install them. A reboot might be necessary again. Disconnect your Thunderbolt 3 cord, reboot by holding down the Option key, and during boot up, reconnect the Thunderbolt 3 cord. Again, the LEDs should turn on. Now with every boot up of Windows, you need to activate the display driver with the device manager as before, as a reboot always deactivates it. Now go to the display settings and activate your second screen, which in my case is my LG TV. Don't forget to turn on HDR if your TV or monitor supports it, and check the sound output if you want to hear the sound through your TV instead of your internal speakers. Since this is a water-cooled eGPU, you are able to safely overclock this powerful card. Start the AORUS Gigabyte software and hit the button Auto Scan in the GPU boost section. The software will run a test for about 20 minutes and create an overclock setting for you. This way I get my 2080 Ti to clock up to 2.1 GHz from the factory setting of 1.5 GHz. Now keep in mind that if you want to reboot or turn off your computer, to go to the Nvidia GPU activity utility in the taskbar and disconnect the card from there. Also you can check any apps that are currently running on the eGPU. I'm using an external USB-C SanDisk SSD with 2 TB of space hosting all my games, and as a screen I'm using my LG B7 4K OLED TV. The first thing we are going to run is a performance test using the benchmark software 3D Mark. With the internal Radeon 460 Pro, I'm getting a score of 1394. The 2080 Ti running on the same MacBook Pro reaches a stunning score of 9382. This result places my setup above the gaming laptop, having an AMD Ryzen 7 3700X with a Radeon RX 5700 XT. Above my setup being an Intel i9 9900K CPU. Not bad for a computer being 4 years old. Having this GPU really boosts this computer into the present of gaming setups. Now it's time to put the 2080 Ti to the test by running demanding games. My first game to test is Microsoft's latest Flight Simulator 2020. I'm running it at full 4K, no resolution scaling and high-end settings.
feet. Orbit Freegave FR Bergung in Bravo Luftraum. It's Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Las Vegas approach. Squawk 7621. Squawk 7621 Pits X-Ray Golf Sierra. Pits X-Ray Golf Sierra radar contact 2 miles west of Las Vegas, 3,300 feet. Freegave FR Bravo Luftraum RTU. Navigation leak bay hidden.
Let's compare the performance of the AMD Radeon 460 Pro running this game on the internal monitor. And now the same scene running on the 2080 Ti in full 4K. The difference is quite obvious. At these settings I generally get around 30 to 40 frames per second. Second game to test is Call of Duty Warzone. I maxed out all the settings, including full 4K resolution and ray tracing turned on. I get between 45 to 60 frames per second with these settings. You can tweak the settings to get a constant 60 FPS, but this runs well enough for me enjoying the maximum graphics settings.
Gas is closing in. Proceed to the safe zone. Dropping into the area.
Fuck you.
all targets in the AO. Enemy dropping into the AO.
Third game to test is Deliver Us the Moon, a great game to feature ray tracing and DLSS. Settings are all on Epic. fourth game to test today is Wolfenstein Youngblood. Again, all details are cranked up to the maximum, full ray tracing enabled and DLSS set to quality. Watch these gorgeous real-time reflections on the subway wall tiles, the shop windows and the rain puddles on the ground. You can even see your own character reflections in this golden ornament. Here are the settings and the benchmark results for the first and the second benchmark levels. The fifth game is the ultimate test for ray tracing, Control. I have all the features turned on. Notice the reflections on the ground and the walls and the light effects during the gameplay sequences.
This seal. I saw it a long time ago. I keep seeing it in my dreams.
Our last game to test today is Gears Tactics.
Get those supply zones under control before the grubs do!
Being not a fast first-person shooter, you can easily put every single setting on this game to its highest setting.
You ready for this? On a skewer. Next! Beautiful. Damn! Pretty much fucked now! Gotcha!
Here are the benchmark results of the internal benchmark of the game. And that's a wrap for this review. I hope you enjoyed it and could get an idea of how much additional graphical power you can get if you hook your computer up with an eGPU. There are many different options out there for eGPUs, but if you want to invest into an eGPU, you might as well go with the best. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this review, and I hope to see you again with future videos we are making on this channel.